Have you ever wondered why the international dateline looks so strange? Sit back and imagine with me a moment. An invisible line, an imaginary demarcation, coursing from the icy North Pole to the frosty South Pole. It's not straight, it's not curvy, it dances a zigzag across the Earth's surface. This, my friends, is the International Dateline, or IDL for short. Now, it's not just there for decoration or to add an element of mystery to our planet. The IDL has a very important purpose. It serves as the boundary separating two consecutive calendar days. That's right, it's the line that decides where today ends and tomorrow begins. Cross it from the west, you step into the future. Cross it from the east, you're in yesterday. Quite a head-spinning concept, isn't it? The IDL is not a perfect straight line, and there's a reason behind this. It zigzags its way across the Pacific Ocean, dipping and diving in an odd yet purposeful manner. But why? What's the reason behind this seemingly erratic behavior? Well, it's not random at all. There's a method to this madness, a puzzle waiting to be solved. The peculiar shape of the international dateline is a result of centuries of exploration, political treaties, and even wars. It's a fascinating story of diplomacy, geography, and human ingenuity, a tale that transcends time and space. But that's not all. The IDL is also influenced by geographical factors. The decision to divert the line around certain land masses and territories was not taken lightly. It was a calculated move, aimed at avoiding confusion and chaos in local timekeeping. So buckle up, folks. We're about to delve into the mystery behind this zigzagging line that runs across our globe. We'll explore the historical influences, the geographical considerations, and the current state of the IDL. Stay tuned as we uncover the mystery behind the international dateline's peculiar shape. The IDL's shape didn't just happen by chance, history played a significant part. Indeed, the International Dateline, or IDL, is a fascinating blend of geography, politics, and history. Its unique shape is an echo of past human decisions, not just geographical reality. The IDL was initially set at the 180th degree line of longitude. This was a counterbalance to the prime meridian at 0 degrees, a line which runs through Greenwich, England. This decision was made during the International Meridian Conference in 1884. The idea was to have a line opposite the prime meridian, where the date would change. A straight line, right? Well, not quite. You see, the IDL is not a straight line. Instead, it zigzags around national boundaries and islands. This irregularity is due to a multitude of political, economic, and historical factors. It's a clear reflection of how human decisions can shape our perception of time and space. For instance, some Pacific islands chose to be on one side of the IDL, aligning their clocks with Asia to facilitate trade and communication. Others chose to align with the Americas for similar reasons. The IDL was adjusted accordingly to accommodate these choices. In another instance, the IDL was moved eastward in 1912 to keep the entire Russian Far East on the same calendar day. This was done to simplify administration and communication within the vast Russian territory. And let's not forget the significant shift in 1995, when the island nation of Kiribati moved the IDL further east. This was done to ensure the whole country was in the same day, promoting national unity and simplifying business operations. These are just a few examples of how the IDL's shape has been influenced by historical and political factors. It's a testament to the fact that our world is not just shaped by physical geography, but also by the complex tapestry of human history. So, it turns out history has left its mark not only on our cultures but also on our time zones. Geography too has had a say in shaping the international dateline. Our planet's land and water distribution has always been a key factor in determining the course of this imaginary line. The line's zigzag pattern might look a little silly on a map, but there's a very good reason for it. Let's take a look at the Aleutian Islands, for example. This archipelago in the northern Pacific Ocean is part of the U.S. state of Alaska. The islands extend across the 180-degree longitude line, which would naturally be the place for the international dateline. However, having the date change in the middle of this chain of islands would be quite confusing for its inhabitants. Thus, the dateline takes a detour, bending to the east of 180 degrees longitude around the Aleutians. This way, all of Alaska shares the same date. Another interesting case is Kiribati, a nation made up of 33 coral atolls spread over 3.5 million square kilometers in the central Pacific Ocean. To avoid the country being split by the dateline in 1995, Kiribati moved the line to the east of the country, effectively placing all of its islands in the same day. These geographical considerations, among others, have led to the international dateline's irregular shape. The primary goal has always been to avoid splitting inhabited territories into two different dates. Imagine trying to keep track of time when your neighbor across the street is living in a different day. So, while the international dateline may appear peculiar, its shape serves a practical purpose. It's a perfect example of how human systems like timekeeping have to adapt to the natural world. The Earth's geography, with its vast oceans and scattered islands, has dictated the course of the dateline, ensuring that it causes the least disruption to people's lives. The Earth's geography has quite literally shaped the way we see time. Fast forward to today, and the IDL continues to adapt. It's a fluid entity, shifting and changing with the ebbs and flows of global dynamics. Over the years, the international dateline has been more of a barometer, reflecting the shifts in power, territorial changes, and even technological advancements. Let's start with the shifts in power. As nations rose and fell, as colonies were born and dissolved, the IDL wavered back and forth like a pendulum. Each swing of this pendulum marked a new chapter in the annals of human history, and each swing brought its own adjustments to the IDL. Moving on to territorial changes, the IDL has often been a pawn in the chess game of geopolitics. Countries have moved the line to suit their needs, to align more closely with their political allies, or to simply make life a little easier for their citizens. For instance, Kiribati, a tiny Pacific nation, moved the IDL to the east in 1995 to ensure the entire country was on the same day. Interestingly, the IDL is not legally binding. There is no international law that dictates where the line must go or how countries must adhere to it. Countries are free to choose their time zones, and this freedom has led to some fascinating changes in the line's shape. Now, let's talk about technology. With the advent of global communication and travel, the IDL has become even more significant. Adjustments have been made to accommodate the needs of global commerce and communication. The line may seem arbitrary, but it's essential for synchronizing time across our interconnected world. So, what's the takeaway here? The IDL is not some rigid, unchanging line drawn in the sand. It's a flexible marker, a testament to our ever-changing world. It's a symbol of our ability to adapt, to change, and to mold the world to fit our needs. The international dateline, like time itself, is ever-evolving. So, why does the international dateline look so strange? Well, as we've journeyed through the past 4 scenes, we've discovered that the international dateline, or IDL for short, is not just a random squiggle on our globe. It's a fascinating mix of history, politics, geography, and modern considerations. Let's take a moment to revisit what we've learned. Firstly, we delved into the mystery of the IDL, understanding that it's not an international law, but rather an agreement. It's the theoretical line where one day transitions into the next. It's a fascinating concept that's necessary due to the spherical shape of our planet and its rotation. Next, we explored the historical influences that have shaped the IDL. The line has been drawn and redrawn many times throughout history, influenced by powerful nations and their need for practical timekeeping. The IDL we know today is a reflection of these historical influences. In our third scene, we looked at geographical considerations. We discovered that the IDL isn't a straight line because it needs to weave around landmasses to avoid splitting countries into different days. It's a necessary compromise that adds to the IDL's distinctive appearance. Then, we discussed the IDL in the modern context. Today, the IDL is still shifting and changing due to political decisions and socio-economic considerations. For example, some Pacific nations have moved their position relative to the IDL to align more closely with their major trading partners. In summary, the IDL is more than just a line. It's a visual representation of our planet's rotation, our history, and the ongoing negotiations between nations. It's a testament to our ability to adapt and find solutions to the challenges posed by our physical world. Next time you look at the international dateline, remember it's more than just a line on a map. It's a reflection of our world's rich and complex history.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.